Hi, this is Cora Stack again. I just wanted to express my appreciation to the brilliant Van Morrison for a song. I think that it's worth listening to in these very hard, difficult times, and it's called "Days Like This." And I hope it doesn't mind that it's on the internet under song meaning. So just if anybody's feeling under the weather, I think Van the man has a great optimism in his music, which sometimes doesn't appear in his personality. But his music is, it's made to make people feel happy. So we have to give him great credit for that. Like he always digs into the positive side of life, to raise people up, and I really admire that about him, which is rarely, I think, pointed to the optimism and the strength of character, that's right, right into the depth, of his work. And this is a particularly uplifting song, like most of his songs, but, I think it's very prevalent in this day and age that we have these kind of prayers almost, hymns to the silence, is one of his beautiful albums, but that wouldn't be the best known, but, that's a good word for an album. But it says, when it's not always raining, there will be days like this. When there is no one complaining, there will be days like this. When everything falls into place like the flick of a switch, well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need to worry, there'll be days like this. When no one is in a hurry, there'll be days like this. When you don't get betrayed by that old Judas kiss. What a good line that is. Oh, my mama told me there will be days like this. When you don't need an answer, there'll be days like this. When you don't meet a chancer, God, that's very good rhyming. There'll be days like this. When all the parts of the puzzle start to look like they fit, that's very mathematical. Then I must remember there'll be days like this. When everyone is up front and they're not playing tricks, when you don't have no freeloaders out to get their kicks, when it's nobody's business the way you want to live, I just have to remember there will be days like this. And this is the line that I was recalling yesterday. When no one steps in my dreams, there will be days like this. When people understand what I mean, there will be days like this. I don't think there's anything he ever wrote that I didn't understand. When you bring out the changes of how everything is, well, my mama told me there will be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there will be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there will be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there will be days like this. Oh, my mama told me there will be days like this. And he, that's the way he usually finishes, on a kind of a very high kind of a, he lifts it all up, and he ends all his, he raises it up as he goes along the songs, and he builds up the momentum, he builds up the positivity, and it kind of like a crescendo at the end. And, he succeeds enormously, brilliantly. So that's a song to uplift us all in these very difficult times that we're living in. And, like I was thinking about it yesterday, because Dublin, I was in Dublin at a meeting, and the weather was fantastic, and I was in the Royal Marine, where I had met him many years ago, went by, accident, I just sort of went up and kind of was a bit nosy, I suppose, a bit overwhelmed by curiosity, and he didn't meet a chance for me anyway, that's for sure. But anyway, that's a great song by Van Morrison, and I think it's typical of the positivity of all his songs, and they're all designed like there's this great strength of character, positivity, belief. You can see his character in all his songs, and there's immense sunniness and positivity in them, and they're made to make people feel good about themselves, and because they're real art, and it's about uplifting people, and it's not about making people. I don't think there's any song that Van Morrison ever wrote that would make a person feel bad about themselves or bad about life. Even if they are very kind of insightful, they're all about incredible optimism, and it's no wonder he's doing so well, because the man is an incredible optimist, and in spite of his temperamental nature, he's a wonderful wonderful optimist, a phenomenal philosopher, a phenomenal intellect. This is something I think is very rarely raised about Van Morrison, Bob Dylan, the same. They have amazing intellects. The intellects of these people are second to none. They're incredibly talented intellectually, and lyrically and musically. They have it all. And but that's the one thing they all have, that incredible inner strength and belief in themselves, and positivity and creativity, brilliant lyrically, and musically brilliant. And I don't see another Van Morrison. I don't see another Bob Dylan or Joni Mitchell or David Bowie. Brilliant people. I like Paul Weller. I have a particular admiration for Mr. Paul Weller, and there are many other great artists. But I think these are really that I suppose the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and people like that. And there's many good bands there. But in terms of just singer-songwriters, these are just these are once in a millennium, I would say. They're that good, and we're so lucky. Rod Stewart is great as well. He's a fantastic fellow altogether too. But I think we're very lucky to have lived in times when we heard the best stuff with the Van Morrison albums, and Into the Mystic and all those great songs, and sure, everything he wrote was absolutely unbelievable. So I'm a huge fan over many years, and I've gone to many of his concerts, and these kind of songs just the lines kind of ring out sometimes on sunny days, and some of the albums are so sunny that you'd remember them on a sunny day. So, or you're driving in a car on a sunny day and you put on Van Morrison, and it raises you up and lifts you up. So great credit to the man. I mean, he's still going very strong. He's touring. Bob Dylan is the same. I mean, if you listen to the likes of Blood on the Tracks, or a lot of the albums he wrote, you could listen to them over and over again, and you'd always give there's always an extra meaning. You can always find something different, and they're never boring, and never get bored with any of these. You could listen to them and listen to the rest of them, and they just wow you every time. So same with Joni Mitchell. I'm a huge fan of hers over many years, and so sorry, absolutely so sorry, that what happened to her. Very, very sorry. She's incredibly talented, one of the most talented female artists of all time.